Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Expect to be thrilled, excited, and my personal favorite, scared even a little bit by some of today's clips. Without wasting too much of your precious time, let's jump right into it. Two guys went into this creepy place and found something totally out of the ordinary. Inside this mysterious structure, they spotted a weird hole in the wall that hid who knows what. Feeling curious, or maybe a bit mischievous, the guys chucked a rock into the darkness, and surprise, surprise, something unexpected happened. A creature jumped up, spreading its wings in a defensive move. The noise it made wasn't your typical bird soundtrack. It was more like a hint that it was not an ordinary creature. The men, now scared, ran off as fast as they could, leaving us to wonder what creature that was. In the skies over Colombia, an observer became witness to a surreal phenomenon, a colossal human shadow cast against the expanse of the heavens. While clouds are known to occasionally take on diverse shapes, the distinctive features of this ethereal figure sparked a sense of intrigue and skepticism. Clouds usually take on all sorts of fun shapes, but the sharp and purposeful lines of this massive figure made people wonder more than usual. The clear outline of a head and shoulders got everyone thinking. Was it a mere play of light and shadow, or did the heavens momentarily unveil a glimpse of something beyond our comprehension? The eerie atmosphere of a school after hours takes a chilling turn in this unsettling footage, reminiscent of scenes from the It movie. The diligent custodian enters an empty classroom to tidy up, only to encounter a peculiar and disconcerting sight. A red balloon, seemingly out of place among the others scattered across the room. As the custodian goes about his clearing duties, an uncanny occurrence unfolds. The red balloon appears to follow him with an unnerving precision. While the other balloons remain stationary, this solitary red orb exhibits a calculated movement as if possessed by an unseen force. The whole situation feels so strange that it makes you wonder. Is this just a weird accident, some crazy physics thing, or is there something supernatural going on with that balloon? And the fact that it looks like those creepy red balloons from Pennywise, well, just makes it even more unsettling. Our next captivating footage transports us back in time, raising the age-old question: are dinosaurs real or just confined to the realms of history and imagination? The video captures a moment that appears to showcase a little T-Rex being fed, adding a layer of fascination and awe to the mystery surrounding these ancient creatures. Throughout history, we've dug up skeletal remains hinting at the existence of dinosaurs in eras long before humans came into the picture. But now, this footage seems to suggest the wild notion of dinosaurs making a comeback from extinction. It's like a spark of curiosity and deep thinking. The thought of running into these colossal creatures in the here and now shakes up our understanding of how nature works. It's like a giant leap beyond what we thought we knew about the natural order of things. Now, this next one is quite an intriguing tale from the heart of the wilderness. In the year 2020, Scott Carpenter, a dedicated Bigfoot researcher, embarked on a camping expedition into the depths of the woods. Little did he know that his journey would lead to a captivating discovery that would fuel the age-old debate surrounding the elusive Bigfoot. In the video, a colossal dog-furred creature emerges behind the tent, casting a towering silhouette against the wilderness. The creature seemed curious about the strange structure in its territory. It pokes the tent with a tree branch and then moves away to stand behind the tree, still looking at the tent. Carpenter was very excited about this encounter and decided to share it. What do you think of this? In the depths of the forest, captured by a trail camera, a perplexing scene unfolds as four dark-furred creatures work collaboratively to bring down a tree. The way they move, the unsettling noise they make, and their coordinated effort add an air of mystery to the footage. As people watch this mysterious video, speculations about their identity range from mundane explanations like monkeys to more fantastical suggestions involving young Bigfoot. The creature's determination to break the tree into two raises questions about their behavior and purpose. Could they be a known species of primates displaying an unusual behavior, or does this footage offer a glimpse into the elusive and legendary world of Bigfoot, suggesting a social structure and collaborative activities? The vast and mysterious ocean has long been a source of fascination and fear. In this footage, we're confronted by what I can only describe as a mysterious sight. A colossal creature whose immense size is only confirmed by the tumultuous whirlwinds it stirs within the sea. The thunderous sound accompanying its movement add an ominous undertone to the unfolding story. As speculation ensues among the passengers, the question lingers. Could this be a sea monster, a creature of myth and legend, or does a more rational explanation exist for this marine anomaly? The mystery of Bigfoot sightings continues, and this trail camera footage adds another piece to the puzzle. In the photo, the creature is captured in motion, revealing its dark fur and a stance that distinguishes it from known animals like bears or gorillas. The fact that it appears humanoid in posture has long been a hallmark of Bigfoot sightings. While the image provides a tantalizing glimpse, the elusive nature of the creature persists. The dark fur and upright posture align with descriptions commonly associated with Bigfoot encounters. However, the lack of a clear facial view or additional details leaves room for further exploration of these elusive beings. As enthusiasts and skeptics alike scrutinize the image, the quest to unravel the mystery of Bigfoot persists, with each sighting contributing to the enduring allure of this enigmatic and mythical being. We all know that trees have life, hence they reproduce, grow, and die. Sometimes it's even hard to believe that they're living because they're so inanimate and look lifeless, but this footage will change your mind. In Maryland, a person passing by stumbled upon a truly bizarre sight: trees seemingly on the move. It's the kind of thing you might expect to see in a Harry Potter movie. The trees, instead of standing still in the forest, decide to take a stroll, making their way from the woods to behind a building. The footage goes on for minutes, adding to the surrealness of the scene. Now, as whimsical as this looks, there are debates about what's going on. Some folks are sticking to the idea that the trees are moving, while others argue that there might be a hidden logger behind the house, cutting and relocating the trees, creating the illusion of them moving. Since the person in the video didn't get closer to investigate, it's a bit of a head-scratcher, leaving us to wonder about the tree-walking mystery. If you've made it this far, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment? If you haven't already, it goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos for you. Thank you for doing so. Moving back to today's episode. Farms are mostly targets of wild animals because of the abundance of meek prey that cannot defend themselves, especially when the farm is closer to the woods. In this footage, a farmer was filming her animals when she noticed something strange in the woods behind the animals. A big, shadowy creature hanging out in the woods right behind the animals. It's moving quickly, giving off this kind of stalking vibe, and then just like that, it vanishes into the dark. The farmer, watching all this go down, starts thinking maybe this isn't your everyday predator. The idea that it could be some paranormal creature starts crossing their mind. Encounters like these fuel speculation about the presence of mysterious beings in the vicinity of farms. While it's challenging to draw definitive conclusions from the footage, the eerie and elusive nature of the creature is very convincing. What do you guys think? Here's another video featuring a dinosaur being hauled out of a truck. Unlike the previous video, this creature is noticeably larger and displays a more aggressive demeanor. However, skepticism arises as people question the authenticity of the footage. Upon closer inspection, the creature's movements and anatomy raise doubts about its legitimacy. Many viewers point out the seemingly artificial quality of its legs, almost resembling a costume rather than a living being. If indeed a hoax, the creators have gone to great lengths to craft a convincing spectacle. While the video may be a cleverly orchestrated fake, it sparks contemplation about the enduring mystery surrounding dinosaurs. The fascination with these ancient creatures persists, and even a fictional representation can captivate our imagination. What are your thoughts on this elaborate dinosaur display? Imagine this. You're casually grabbing a bottle of water from the fridge and bam, it turns into ice as if you've got some secret superpower. How cool would that be? Stop imagining. It happens in the next clip. Unfortunately, scientists have an explanation for it. So the deal is that the water in the bottle gets supercooled in the fridge, meaning it stays liquid below its usual freezing point. But the trick is not to mess with it, no opening the cap or shaking the bottle. The moment you do that, it's like a magic spell breaks and the water freezes right before your eyes. However, skeptics hold the idea that this is simply a glitch in the matrix. Since everyone is entitled to their opinions, let us know in the comments section what you also think this is.
Listen, that'd be crazy. Hold on.
Alright, picture this. It's 11 p.m. in eastern Oregon, and this guy is strolling home minding his own business. But suddenly, he's hit with this bizarre symphony of laughter echoing from the woods.
It's actually gotten closer since it started.
We're talking hyena vibes mixed with a dash of doggy humor. And get this, it goes on for a solid 20 minutes, with the laughter gradually getting closer each time. Now, some folks are throwing around theories like it's Bigfoot throwing a comedy night in the forest, while others are whispering about possible skinwalker shenanigans. But truth be told, nobody's got the scoop on what exactly is going down in those woods. A gang of adventurers living it up on a glacier, having the time of their lives when they stumble onto something that turns their icy expedition into a frosty riddle. The ice surface is solid, supporting their weight, but here's the kicker. When they peek through it, there's water underneath. Now, what in the chilly world is happening here? It's like the ice is playing a sneaky game of optical illusions, treating them to a liquid magic show right under their boots. Is it a secret entrance to an underwater wonderland, or just Mother Nature flaunting her icy tricks? The glacier seems to be keeping its secrets on ice, leaving our adventurers in awe and probably scratching their heads a bit. Turns out, ice adventures aren't just about epic views, they also come with front row seats to nature surprises. Under the shroud of night, as this adventurer embarked on a boat journey through the mysterious swamp, an unexpected and eerie symphony captured their attention. In the stillness of the night, the distant tolling of a church bell reverberated through the air, resonating across the expansive forest. What made this occurrence particularly peculiar was the absence of any visible church in the vicinity. The haunting sound, typically associated with places of worship, seemed to emerge from the depths of the darkness itself. The discordance between the natural surroundings of the swamp and the unnatural tolling added an air of mystery to the nocturnal escapade. As the boat gently glided through the swamp's waterways, the enigmatic chiming persisted, leaving us to wonder, is that from a ghost church? Talk about stumbling upon the holy grail of Bigfoot evidence. In the aftermath of a heavy snowstorm, a dedicated group of Bigfoot enthusiasts stumbled upon a remarkable spectacle. There were imprints of large feet, footprints that exceeded the size of an average human foot by 2 or 3 times. As they carefully examined the prints etched in the snow, a fascinating revelation unfolded before their eyes. The sheer size of the footprints varied, suggesting the presence of not just one, but potentially a family of these elusive creatures.
Yeah, I mean, the foot is melted away to make it look bigger. But look at the top of these right here.
Yeah.
Here, 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 and then it was the whole hill.
And let me ask you something.
Here, whole hill.
If you're looking down at these, do you know something different about this grouping?
There's a small one and
There's
a
a
big
small one and a big one.
Some imprints were notably smaller, hinting at the possibility of a youngling walking alongside its more massive counterpart. Trail cameras have been very effective in capturing candid moments in the wildlife. However, a trail cam owner was shocked when she retrieved her device, and instead of animals, she was met with this. In the photo, you've got 2 women in the buff crouched down in the middle of the forest, totally absorbed in some mysterious thing on the ground. When you zoom in, you'll notice that there is a dead deer. The scene gets pretty eerie because it looks like these women are up to something unsettling, like they're having a feast on the lifeless deer. The bizarre nature of the scene has sparked speculation and theories. Some folks are throwing around the notion that these might be witches up to some kind of ritual, while others are floating the possibility that these figures could be skinwalkers. You know, those mythical beings from folklore known for transforming into animals and humans. What do you guys make of the situation? Before we move on to the next video, just another reminder. If you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now. I wouldn't want to send that Bigfoot after you. And don't forget to share with your friends and family as well. Thank you very much. In another bizarre encounter, a person walking in the streets at night stumbled upon a truly unsettling sight. A mysterious woman was standing still, observing passers-by with an eerie intensity. As the person filming approached, a more detailed look revealed something profoundly unsettling about her appearance. The woman's eyes were pitch black, devoid of any discernible humanity, and her face exhibited an otherworldly quality. The camera captured the unnerving moment as her gaze seemed to follow its movement. The overall impression is deeply unsettling, prompting the hope that this might be a Halloween stunt or some form of performance art, that an encounter was something beyond the realm of normalcy. You know that feeling of being watched when you're walking all alone in a secluded place? Well, this footage was taken by a woman who was hiking in California when she felt uncomfortable, like someone was watching. As she glances around, a realization hits her. The weird feeling she's got isn't just a figment of her imagination. Right there, perched on a tree with this almost primal stillness, is a creature, one she's convinced is a Bigfoot. Peeking from a distance, the creature suddenly reveals only a glimpse of its head and shoulders, but that sighting packs a serious punch. It sets off a bunch of questions and wild guesses. Is it some sort of forest guardian, a mythical being checking out the hiker passing by, or is it just a game of shadows and leaves playing tricks on us? Oh, we've got a little troublemaker on our hands. Caught in the act, this mischievous companion was frozen in place when its owner found it meddling with the tap. The guilt is practically written all over its adorable face as the water pours all over it. I can almost imagine the internal debate happening in its tiny head. Should I make a run for it or face the consequences? The moment of realization is pure gold, and the gradual head movement after the initial shock adds a touch of humor. It's almost as if the cat thought staying perfectly still could make it invisible. Classic pet antics. What do you think this furry friend was up to with the tap? Now, sticking with the Bigfoot vibe, let's step into the world of eerie sounds echoing through the woods. In this captivating footage, someone catches a unique sound that they're pretty convinced is connected to Bigfoot. The audio captures this loud grunt-like growl that ripples through the whole forest. So here's the big question. Is this really the mysterious Bigfoot doing its communication thing, or could it be the call of some unknown creature? Maybe, just maybe, it's a well-played prank by someone who loves a good mystery. Diving into the world of conspiracy theories, there's a buzz going around suggesting that NASA might be tinkering with digital maps to hide specific spots on Earth. In this video, someone takes us on a virtual tour, zooming in on a particular area until we land on this perplexing site with a weird pattern that looks a bit like a wall. The oddity of this place gets people wondering, sparking all sorts of theories about hidden agendas and deliberately keeping information under wraps. As we mull over the idea of secret operations in the digital space, there are lingering questions. Is NASA really up to something fishy, concealing certain places? And if they are, what kind of secrets could these hidden spots be holding? Or is this just a case of misinterpretation and coincidence? I hope the FBI doesn't come knocking on my door for this. During a sunset moment, someone came across a strange spectacle. There seemed to be 3 different lights behind a cloud. Now, scientifically speaking, this phenomenon is known as a sundog or parhelion. It occurs when sunlight is refracted through ice crystals in the atmosphere, creating bright spots on either side of the sun. These spots can sometimes give the illusion of multiple suns, leading to breathtaking and somewhat surreal visuals. Nature has a way of surprising us with its optical illusions, making us pause and marvel at the wonders of the world. Have you ever encountered any other intriguing natural phenomena? Our fascination with the unknown takes a peculiar turn with the discovery of an unconventional artifact, a miniature flying saucer adorned with cryptic symbols and detachable parts. It's like stumbling upon a cosmic puzzle, leaving everyone perplexed about its origins and purposes. As people examine this enigmatic object, the air is charged with speculation. Is it an alien gadget, a piece of extraterrestrial technology that defies our earthly comprehension? Or, on the flip side, could it be a creation of human ingenuity, wrapped in mystery to challenge our intellect? Share your thoughts. If I received $1 for every time a drone pilot captured something odd and weird without realizing it, I'd surely be a millionaire by now. This footage was captured by a drone pilot in Ohio who was simply trying to get nice footage of the forest area, and he assumed that was all he had captured. At least until he reviewed the footage and realized he'd captured more than he intended. In the footage was a stealthy dark figure in the forest which was trying to avoid drawing attention to itself. He couldn't discern what it was exactly, but he could tell that it was bigger than human and all black, either with fur or dark skin. Taking a second look at it, he concluded it was fur. But what creature could possibly be that big? Turns out there are no creatures in the forest area which are that big. But there have been rumors of Bigfoot sightings, a very shy and elusive one at that. Had this drone pilot just delivered another piece of evidence of the presence of Bigfoot in Ohio? Many believe so. What do you think? It's a cruel world out there, especially for the more smaller and vulnerable creatures that inhabit it. In this particular instance, a poor rabbit fell victim to the ruthless tactics of a group of bullying coyotes. As you can see, the rabbit attempted to flee, but one of the coyotes was quick enough to catch it between its jaws, sealing the rabbit's fate. It's heartbreaking to witness the brutality of nature, especially when it involves the loss of an innocent life. These coyotes, with their callous disregard for the value of life, are a reminder that in the wild, survival of the fittest is the only rule that matters. It's easy to feel anger towards these coyotes for their vicious behavior, but it's important to remember that they're simply following their instincts to survive. Next, we have this bizarre footage of two young boys exploring the woods. They might have gone out to seek an adventure and thrill, but what they encountered was way beyond anything they could have imagined. Confused? Watch the clip. Did you see that? Yes, that's a naked man moving in a very odd and strange way with fire set to his left. The man's movements take on a ritualistic nature as he proceeds to lift an animal skull over his head. However, the man eventually notices the young boys locking eyes with them. Filled with fear, the boys hastily flee from the scene. If this is real, it would have been quite scary, and if it were me, I wouldn't have wasted any time in there, because who knows how many of them there could have been. Yet, a part of me remains skeptical, questioning the authenticity of the footage considering it was posted by a YouTuber seemingly seeking views. At least, those are my personal thoughts, but what are yours? Two men went hiking on the Indian fort when they spotted a dark, furry creature from afar. The creature looked to be about 7 feet to 8 feet tall. Walking amidst the tall grass, the hikers concealed themselves behind a tree to film the creature. Their conversation reveals genuine fear, their voices trembling as they speak. The creature was as big as a bear, but it looks to be walking on 2 feet like a human. Someone might say it's a gorilla, but gorillas walk with both their hands and feet. If you're frequently on this channel, then you already know what the diagnosis for this creature would be. A Bigfoot. Upon closer examination of the footage, one can notice that the creature is not too far from the filmmakers. Surprisingly, it appears completely unaware of their presence and their hushed conversations. Could this be an elaborate hoax, or am I thinking things? Share your thoughts in the comments section. There is still so much we have to learn because it seems every day new creatures are being found in the wild. These two students took a study trip into the woods, but I guess their curiosity to learn more gave them more than they bargained for. While hiking through the woods, they spotted what they thought to be a wild animal from afar, a bear or a wolf. But as the creature rose from the ground, it stood almost human-like and looked nothing like a bear. The two guys ran off because they were spooked by the creature they saw. They said it looked like nothing they had seen before. With the description they gave, the only animal that fits such features is none other than Bigfoot. What do you also think? Would you call out a ghost dressed in ancient regalia? I know I wouldn't. But this group of Arabic YouTubers are a different breed altogether. They'd gone exploring an abandoned area in the northeast of Saudi Arabia when they came across the image of a person walking in an abandoned area in the middle of the night. He looked very pale, as if he'd been dead for a while, and took very stiff strides in the darkness. That to me will be the sign to get out of there, but that only interested the YouTubers. They wanted to understand what was going on and who it even was. Seeing him dressed in ancient clothes didn't stop them either. They started calling out to him. He didn't respond to them and went on his way. Nobody knows where he went or why he went there or who he even was. After sharing this video online, some thought it was the spirit of an ancient warrior that had come back to life, while others thought it was a hoax. What do you think? Next, we have trail cam footage that's like nothing we've ever seen before. One of the main purposes for setting up trail cams is to capture footage of wild animals in their elements, either in the forest or someone's backyard. But ever so often, people end up capturing more than they intended. One such is this footage right here. If you pay attention to the footage playing on your screen right now, you should see some strange figures of light floating. As much as they look like simulations, would you believe me if I told you that these were captured on a trail cam? When this footage popped up in the paranormal community, many were quick to dismiss it, but further scrutiny of the footage by experts revealed that it had not been tampered with. Could these strange patterns be aliens, or could we simply be witnessing a glitch in the Matrix? No one can say for sure, but one thing's for certain: the paranormal community is divided on what it may be. As mysterious as these things are, it doesn't change the fact that they are beautiful. I mean, look at them. What do you think, though? Is this an elaborate hoax, or are we truly seeing a glitch in the Matrix? Or do you think it's entirely something else that we've missed? Please do share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Next, we visit Texas, where there have been sightings of a large black cat. Now, why should this be something odd? If you know anything about big cats, you know that the large black ones are typically black panthers or jaguars, and the thing is, none of these are native to the Texas region. So how then do they keep popping up on trail cams? Well, the answer isn't so simple, but there are many theories. To start, experts believe that the black cats everyone appears to be seeing might simply be the jaguarundi, which is native to northern Mexico and South and North America. Experts suspect that a stray population of these creatures could have made their way to the region, causing numerous sightings. The paranormal community, however, believe that something more sinister could be going on, such as shapeshifters or even skinwalkers roaming the region. Both of these sound like a far-fetched, but what do you think? While some prey may fall victim to the wiles of their predators, others are wise enough to evade them and live to see another day. And in this particular case, we witness a true champion of survival, a porcupine that is not yet ready to bid the world farewell. As we watch in awe, this spiky hero climbs a tree with lightning-fast agility, leaving its would-be predators in the dust. This porcupine has no intention of becoming Coyote Chow and will do whatever it takes to stay alive. In the background, we hear a chorus of coyotes growling and barking, their predatory instincts kicking into high gear at the sight of their potential meat scampering away. But this porcupine is no ordinary prey. It's a survivor and knows how to outsmart even the most cunning of predators. As the coyote appears and sniffs out the tree in search of a meal, the porcupine remains hidden, its spiky exterior acting as a natural defense mechanism that sends predators running for the hills. And with nothing in sight, the coyote is left to lick its wounds and seek out a less prickly meal. And so our spiky hero lives to see another day, a testament to the power of survival and the importance of never giving up even in the face of danger. It's a reminder that in nature, anything is possible, and that sometimes the smallest and most unlikely of creatures can emerge victorious against all odds. What happens when you walk into your favorite forest only to see some trees uprooted and the branches of some broken? I mean, not just one or two or three trees or their branches, but a whole lot of them. As though that was not odd enough, some of these trees and branches had actually been stacked on top of each other. Naturally, this would arouse curiosity, and that's exactly what happened with the owner of this trail cam footage. He hadn't seen this happen in the forest before and thought perhaps an animal was building something. But what animal? He couldn't tell. If they were smaller, he could have assumed a beaver was responsible. But then again, there were no beavers in the area. With no answers, he set up a trail cam in the area, hoping to capture an image, at least of whatever was responsible. He left the trail cam for a few days and returned to the footage. At first, the footage showed nothing, and he assumed that he was overthinking things until he saw a dark beast sitting on one of the branches in the footage. It was dark and big. He thought it could be a bear, but no, it didn't share enough features with a bear. So, an ape? At least that's what he initially thought, but there were no ape species in the area, plus it was too large to be one. Then, what was it? He couldn't place a finger on it until he saw the night footage and concluded that he was in fact dealing with the mythical and elusive creature known as Bigfoot. Like the previous Bigfoot video, this footage was taken by a woman who heard strange noises in the forest and decided to film. The noise looked to be coming from above, on top of the trees, so you can see her filming up. But just as she was filming, she heard a rustle in the trees and moved the camera just in time to catch a glimpse of a creature lurking in the forest. The creature stood still, facing her, which allowed her to have a good look at it, even if it was brief. The creature had black fur from head to toe and appeared to be standing upright on 2 feet. There's the temptation to think it's an ape, but apes don't stand as tall as 7 feet, and neither do they walk on both feet. And there's only one creature that matches this description: Bigfoot. Typically, when Bigfoots are spotted, they flee immediately. However, this particular Bigfoot didn't even try to run. It waved at her. Did you see it? Did you see the wave? What do you make of this encounter? Are you a fan of the Madagascar series? Then you should surely be familiar with lemurs like King Julian and his nemesis, the fossa. Have you ever wondered what these creatures look like in real life? Well, you're in luck because we have footage of them. Enjoy. In case you're wondering, yes, the fossa does prey on lemurs. However, it's important to understand that this behavior is necessary for maintaining the balance and safety of their ecosystem. They may occasionally also eat rodents, birds, reptiles, and other small critters. They have a long, slender body similar to a cat with short legs and a long tail. They have short, reddish-brown fur and a muscular build, allowing them to move swiftly and climb trees proficiently. While it would be a bad idea to adopt one, you can still visit Madagascar to enjoy those creatures, but be sure to take us along. We'd want to see them too. The moose, a majestic and powerful animal, is known for its ability to navigate through the forest and find sustenance in the wild. However, sometimes even the most skilled of creatures can find themselves in a tight spot. This was the case with one moose in particular who went apple hunting and found itself stuck in between the branches of a tree. The moose cried out for help, hoping someone would hear its pleas and come to its rescue. Fortunately, locals came to its aid and immediately called the authorities. A team of experts arrived on the scene and assessed the situation. They realized that the only way to save the moose was to cut down the tree. With precision and care, the tree was cut down and the moose was rescued from its perilous situation. After being examined by the experts, the moose quickly ran off into the woods, eager to continue its journey. Ah, the lynx, a truly magnificent creature that captures the imagination with its beauty and grace. Caught on camera in the dead of night, this lynx prowls the wilderness with its regal poise as the true king of the forest. As it approaches the trail camera, its curiosity is palpable, a testament to the intelligence and inquisitive nature of this stunning feline. The lynx sniffs around the camera with a mix of wonder and caution, taking in its surroundings with all the majesty of a creature that knows it's at the top of the food chain. And who can blame the lynx for feeling so confident in its power? With its beautiful fur and piercing eyes, this is undoubtedly one of the most breathtaking felines on the planet. It's easy to see why the lynx has captured the heart and minds of nature lovers and photographers alike, with its striking appearance and commanding presence. Ah, the great balancing act of nature. This footage was taken by a woman who heard a knock at her door and went to check it out. Instead of a human visitor, she was met with this situation right here. An eerie-looking deer staring straight at her. While a normal deer would typically flee, this one stood its ground, fixating its gaze on the woman, penetrating her very soul. Filled with terror, the woman hastily closed the door, realizing the animal had a clear intention of entering her house. Could this deer have been possessed, or is it a skinwalker waiting to be invited in to harm her? Skinwalkers are known to shapeshift into animals, and the only way to know if an animal you are dealing with is a skinwalker is if the creature acts abnormally, just like this deer is doing. They also try to lure people in by making weird noises or approaching them, which looks exactly like what this deer might have been trying to do. But what do you think about the whole thing? Did the woman dodge a bullet, or are we overthinking everything? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Next, we visit Houston, where an otherworldly creature was supposedly captured on camera. Have a look. In the image, we see a creature was walking on two legs across a field. At first glance, it looks like a stray. This dog-like creature looks skinny and hairless, almost pale. The snout looks longer. Though the picture is blurry, you can tell that it's not a normal dog. There's something odd going on with this creature. The paranormal community who caught wind of the whole thing examined the image and came out with one conclusion. It's a Chupacabra. For those unfamiliar with them, Chupacabras are mythical dog-like creatures that are believed to suck dry the blood of other wild animals. Yes, you heard right. They are the vampires of the animal kingdom, albeit light is not a problem for them. This creature seems to fit all the bells and whistles associated with Chupacabras, especially the hairless look it has been going for. But is it really one? Could a sickly dog have been mistaken for this mythical creature? Share your thoughts in the comments section. We'd actually like to hear them. This majestic crane stands tall and proud. Its slender, elongated legs allow it to effortlessly balance on the muddied earth, while its sharp beak protrudes like a finely honed sword. The crane's beady eyes dart around, scanning the murky waters for any sign of movement, any hint of prey. It seems almost otherworldly, as if it doesn't belong in this earthly realm, with its ethereal white feathers shining in the dim light, filtering through the dense foliage above. As the crane preens its feathers, it exudes a sense of calm and serenity, as if it's one with the swamp around it. But one can't help but wonder what secrets lie beneath those still waters and how the crane navigates through the treacherous terrain of the swamp. It is a true marvel of nature, an elegant and enigmatic creature that leaves us in awe and wonder. In the hot Portuguese desert, this footage was taken, with a lot of speculations about what the creature could be. As you can see, a humanoid creature about 7 to 8 feet tall is seen taking slow strides through the desert. The movement resembles that of a zombie from The Walking Dead, except that this creature is way bigger. The color of the creature blends perfectly with the surrounding. Perhaps this is why it's moving during the day, since it believes it has the perfect camouflage. It walks behind some bushes and never emerges again, leaving the owner of the footage wondering where it went. Once this was shared online, it led to many opposing views, some saying that it's a hoax, while the paranormal community argues that it might be a Sasquatch, a Bigfoot, or an alien. What do you think it is? Take a look at a similar situation. This domestic goat was caught unaware by its owner walking on 2 feet. Goats sometimes stand on their 2 feet, so why is this any different? Well, although goats do stand, they don't stand as long as this did or move in that eerie fashion it did. The goat took familiar steps, carefully moving hoof by hoof as a human would. The goat's movements looked like it was in some kind of a trance, almost as if it was possessed. Not only that, but it seems to have enchanted the cock following right behind. Could that goat be possessed, or are we once again overthinking things? Share your thoughts with me. For our next trail cam capture, we visit the woods on a rainy day. Imagine you're out in the woods exploring while it's raining, only to be stopped dead in your tracks by something that looks like a middle-aged man. You take a closer look and realize it's no man at all, as it has fur all over. Then it suddenly hits you that you're actually looking at the legendary Bigfoot. You shake with excitement, yet still tremble with fear. Sounds scary and exhilarating, does it not? Now stop imagining. That's exactly what's happening in the clip you see before. Take a closer look. You see it, don't you? It initially looked like you were seeing a middle-aged man, only for it turned out to be a creature that's at least 7 feet tall. Is that really Bigfoot, or are we dealing with a man in a costume? Tell us what you think in the comments section. Still on Bigfoot, we traveled to the woodlands in Washington state, where a hiker came face to face with a creature that shares the likeness of the Bigfoot huddled on the branches of a tree. As the hiker and the creature stood frozen in place, both frightened of each other because of this unscheduled meeting. The hiker made the first move and slowly retreated. When the footage surfaced in December 2021, everyone who saw it was sure that this was a juvenile Bigfoot. Some are skeptical and think it's a bear instead, but I don't think so. Just take a good look at it. It screams Bigfoot. Montana has long been a hotspot for strange and unexplained phenomena, from mysterious lights in the sky to sightings of extraterrestrial beings, but this footage takes things to a whole new level. A man captures an image on his trail cam and believes that it's a ghost. As you can see, it looks like the person in that image is oddly hazy, making it look like a ghost. Now locals and visitors alike are abuzz with talk of this ghostly apparition, wondering what it could mean and what other secrets might be lurking in the forests of Montana. Have you been to Montana? Have you experienced any strange things there? What do you think of this video? Tell us in the comments section. Do you know that eerie feeling of something just watching you from afar when you're walking alone, especially at night? Well, this farmer and his group of friends decided to have a barbecue dinner outside and couldn't shake off the feeling they were being watched. By what, they couldn't tell. That was at least the case until one of them spotted a pair of glowing eyes hiding between some trees. They decided to film it, thinking they were perhaps dealing with a hungry wolf from the woods. But they soon discovered that, although the creature had the head of a wolf, it looked like a human from down below. At least, that's what they thought, using their imagination, as its lower half was hidden by the bushes. Judging by the height at which it stood, though, they were very sure it had to have a human lower half. It also had a very muscly back, and that led them to believe that this was a werewolf. They considered shooting it, but what if it was indeed a werewolf? They didn't have silver to kill it, and would have instead aggravated it. To avoid any type of violence and potential death, they decided to offer some meat to this creature, whatever it was, a few feet from where they were having their barbecue. It was only then that the creature disappeared. Do you think that was a werewolf? A part of me doesn't think so. I don't think a werewolf will just crouch down in the bushes and watch a group of humans enjoy their meal without it taking a bite first. But maybe that's just me. Next, we have this footage of another wild animal exploring the night. As majestic as the creature looks, however, it's not our major point of focus. Take a look at the right side of your screen when the footage starts. Did you see that rectangular white shape? The uploader of the footage initially thought it was a result of recording in the night. However, when he showed it to an expert who reviewed the tape, he was told something like that shouldn't have been there. In other words, the rectangular thing does not exist in the raw footage of the clip, yet somehow shows up during playback. Upon further analysis by the paranormal community, it was concluded that similar to the orbs often seen in the footage, this rectangular anomaly signifies heightened spiritual activity, potentially surpassing the significance of the orbs themselves. As intriguing as that may sound, it's the first we've heard of it and would want to know what you think or if you've had any experiences with this. We can't wait to read your comment. A closer look at the image and you'll realize there's a creature, or rather a cryptid, on the display. This cryptid looks like a blend of both human and ape features. Unlike your typical ape, however, this Bigfoot stands upright on its two legs. The proportion of its hands and legs bears great resemblance to that of a human, but the fur on the body does not. Due to the position of the light in the capture and the quality of the image, it's hard to tell what the face of this creature looks like, but I doubt it looks human. What could it be? The paranormal community is convinced it's a Bigfoot, and so is the individual who sent the capture in. Apparently, there have been Bigfoot sightings around the area where the trail cam captured the footage. Given that the creature captured in the image is at least 9 feet tall, it doesn't sound too far-fetched. Or what do you think? Tell us in the comments section. Love is like a symphony that fills the world with joy and wonder, and in the heart of nature, two lovebirds have found each other, completely oblivious to the trail camera that captures their sweet moments. These deer are caught in the act of grooming each other, lost in their world of affection. For deer, grooming is not just a simple act, but a way of expressing their love and affection. Their unique love language involves picking at each other's fur and continually licking each other. And while they're at it, they also take the opportunity to rid each other of pesky parasites, leaving them feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. Talk about a clean and loving, healthy relationship. Amid the dense forest, an elk skull is lodged between the branches of a tree trunk. How did it get there? Was it a deliberate act or an unfortunate accident? As the camera zooms in, you can see the intricate details of the skull, the antlers still attached to the bones. It's a haunting sight, almost like a message from the wilderness itself. Some speculate that the elk may have been caught in a hunter's trap and dragged along until it became lodged in the tree. Others believe it was the work of a pack of wolves who were scavenging for food. But perhaps there's a more mysterious explanation. Could it be the work of some supernatural force, a warning to those who dare to trespass in the forest? Whatever the cause, the elk skull remains in its eerie perch, a reminder of the mysteries that lie deep within the heart of the wild. Next, we have this strange structure that was spotted in the woods. The structure looks big enough to fit a person or even two, yet not resilient enough to provide shelter for rainfall. It had twigs and other materials tied together to make it stand strong, meaning it was put together by someone with intelligence. Because, well, let's be honest, no animal is capable of this, not even the smartest apes that I'm aware of. The issue, however, is those woods were isolated and devoid of all humans. That leaves one question. What could this be and who put it there? Was it really a structure for shelter, or is it a shrine? Is it a ritual ground for a cult of some sort? The man who discovered the place stood there wondering and pondering about the same things. His thoughts were, however, interrupted when he suddenly caught sight of a man hiding a few meters away from him. Once the man realized he was no longer hidden, he bolted, but the man filming refused to chase. He was pretty shaken up, and, well, I would be too if I were him. Why did the man run, though? Well, we can't say for certainty, but whatever the reason, it surely can't be good. Or what say you? Who or what is that? This being was caught on a trail cam in the forest. It looks to be staring straight at the camera and walking towards it. This creature appears to be a hybrid of a lion, wolf, and human. It has a head of hair that extends to its face like a lion's mane and ears sticking out of the top of its head like a canine. The nose is reminiscent of a human's, albeit wider, and the face has a grotesque appearance. For hands, it has what looks like claws and doesn't look like it would hesitate to use them. I mean, it looks like it could eat me for dinner. Surprisingly, the creature is adorned in what appears to be a gown with pants. While identifying the exact creature is challenging, the presence of human-like clothing suggests a connection to our species. Yet the nature of this connection eludes us as it defies our understanding of known paranormal creatures. Can you help? The bird in question was observed standing on a tree trunk for some time, seemingly still and alert. After a while, it began to flip its wings vigorously, but didn't take off from the trunk. The behavior seemed unusual and unexpected, prompting curiosity about its purpose. While there could be several possible explanations for the bird's behavior, some theories include the possibility of the bird trying to shake off excess moisture or preening its feathers. It's also possible that the bird was using the tree trunk as a platform to communicate with other birds or was simply stretching its wings and muscles before taking off. Without more context or observations, it's difficult to determine the exact reason behind the bird's behavior. However, the incident serves as a reminder of the intricate and complex behaviors of wildlife, which are often beyond human comprehension. In the deep of the night, a trail cam footage set on a swamp of alligators. And in the stillness of the night, you can hear the beast bellowing. The alligator was a formidable sight with its rough, scaly skin and powerful jaws. But amid its loud bellowing, it was clear that it was also searching for love. The deep, guttural sound echoed through the swamp, sending a message to any nearby alligators that it was ready to mate. While humans are busy finding cheesy pickup lines to woo a lover, these guys let out a primal cry from their guts, shaking any potential mate to the core and attracting them to it. The alligator's bellowing continued for several minutes, growing louder and more urgent with each passing moment. As the sound echoed through the swamp, it was clear that the alligator was determined to find a mate. I hope he finds what he's searching for. For our penultimate video, we have a blast from the past. Dinosaur tracks. Just in case you didn't know, the state of Texas is quite popular for having dinosaur tracks. These tracks are at least 110 million years old and have been preserved in the limestone and sandstone which is prevalent in the state. Should you want to enjoy and experience these tracks, we recommend the Dinosaur Valley State Park, which is some of the most diverse, deep, and well-preserved tracks in the state. Visit the place and thank us later. Next, we have this capture from upstate New York. It's a picture of a deer, but once you look closer, you realize that there's definitely something wrong with that deer. It looks like what you'd expect a cartoon character to look like. For one, it has forward-facing eyes, which has left many in both scientific and paranormal communities wondering what's going on with this deer. If you're confused about what I'm referring to, get a picture of a normal deer and compare it side by side with this particular one. Do you see it? A chunk of the paranormal community members believe they have answers and know what's happening with the deer. They believe this is no ordinary deer and is in fact a skinwalker. They state that it has oddities due to the fact that it's a human witch trying to take the form of an animal, and the oddities we see are nothing more than imperfections with the transformation. While that sounds plausible, it's quite the stretch, but we have no other explanations for it. Do you? Tell us in the comments section, please. Humans often forget that they share the planet with other creatures, and sometimes their actions can have unintended consequences for these animals. Such was the case in this video where a massive tree was being felled with a chainsaw, oblivious to the fact that animals were living in it. As the tree comes crashing down, a tiny bear cub emerged from the bottom of the remaining trunk. One can only imagine the terror it must have felt, suddenly finding itself exposed to the outside world. Thankfully, the cub managed to escape unscathed, but it was left homeless and vulnerable. It's important to remember that the natural world is not just a resource for human consumption, but a delicate ecosystem that's home to a myriad of creatures. Before undertaking any activities that could harm wildlife, it's important to take the time to assess the situation and ensure that all necessary precautions have been taken to protect these creatures. Well, here we go again, another tree. This time it's not being felled, but rather burning. But fortunately, it wasn't caused by humans this time. This tree was found burning from the inside by itself. When experts were called to assess the situation, it was concluded that the tree was struck by lightning, which set it ablaze. So to quench the fire, which was sure to spread, they had to cut the trunk open. Just look at those yellow and orange flames. Beautiful, but dangerous. This footage was captured in Vietnam. As you can see, a group of people is standing around the statue of the Virgin Mary. However, if you listen to the audio in the background of the video, you can hear those recording the footage panicking. The reason does not become apparent until a few seconds after. Watch the clip. Did you see that? The statue moved. If you know or have seen a statue before, you know that they're not bendable or floppy. Talk less about the statue of the Virgin Mary. It's supposed to be a solid structure, so how did that happen? No one knows, perhaps a miracle of some sort. To some, this will be scary, and to others, it's a miracle. After all, statues coming to life are unheard of. But when they have to do with a religious figure, then you can expect to hear tales of how it's a miracle. Anyone who knows about the Virgin Mary knows she's a strong religious figure to the Catholics. The religion subscribes to the idea and existence of demons, angels, and spirits. Could this be a manifestation of one of those spirits, or is someone simply playing with the hearts and emotions of religious fanatics? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Ever see a dancing deer? Well, watch this clip. I don't know if it's Christmas come early for this deer, because it sure looks like it. This trail cam footage caught deer leaping from what I can only imagine being joy. Deer are very collected and cautious because of their status as universal prey in the wild. They're always jumpy, but not for a good reason. However, this particular deer appears to be jumpy for a whole different reason. It keeps moving up and down on the ground, wiggling its body. It's something reminiscent of how puppies behave, but this is no puppy. It's a fully grown deer, which doesn't have the luxuries domestic puppies are privy to. The most obvious of these is the continuous need to run for their lives multiple times a day. So what could have put this particular deer in a seemingly jolly mood that it jumps around like that, or could it be battling with an illness that makes it do that? Share your thoughts in the comments section. There's been quite a buzz surrounding a particular video circling the internet. In this footage, a creature resembling a dog caught the attention of the person behind the camera. As the creature appeared to notice the observer, it seems to head straight in that direction. The video owner claims it's a dog man, but some skeptics argue that it appears more like a person in a costume. As the debate unfolds, opinions diverge on the authenticity of the footage. Is it a genuine encounter with a mysterious creature, perhaps a dogman as suggested, or could it be a scenario involving someone in costume? I think it's the latter. What about you? Either way, this brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you for watching. Before you go, are there popular trail cams out there you want us to look at? Please tell us in the comments section as we'll be reading. You can also send us a mail of strange and unexplainable videos you may have recorded yourself. Just forward them to classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll upload it in our next episode and give you the credit, unless you want to remain anonymous. We look forward to receiving your content. Like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to share the video with your friends and family. See you in the next one.